Welcome back to HPL. We're at the PvP Live studios here in Frisco, Texas. I'm your host, Nathan. That's Admiral Zamora with the Tan and Grace. 2 matches tonight are in the books. Kranich able to pick up his win and Era able to pick up his win. The innovative guys kind of getting the better of the more traditional styles tonight, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some really interesting and cool decks win tonight with some ways that you haven't normally seen. We've seen all kinds of crazy things like Gore Howl coming out tonight and some crazy decks for wins.
Yeah, we can take a look at the standings and see where these guys sit after this one. Kranich really looking good now. Had a rocky start here at first, but now he's up to 3-2 in his matches. And Osaka, I mean, it stings a little bit, but we've plenty of matches in front of him. Again, 12 more matches for him to play. Could easily get himself back into a winning record.
Yeah, could easily get back into a winning record and put himself back into this, this race to be in the top 8, to make it here into Frisco, Texas, to play in the land for a chance of $20,000.
Yeah, we saw Zalae actually. He's at 2-3 right now, but he's playing in this match coming up, and he's against Greensheep, who also has been struggling so far in HPL. Third of the way through the season, he sits at 1-4.
Yeah, and so what I want to talk about with this match, we're going to talk about the matchup here between Zalae and Greensheep. What I want to talk about Zalae first. He's 2-3 coming into here, and Zalae, he's currently sits at the bottom 5 in HPL for mana utilization. It's been a little bit of a problem for him. He's averaging 79.2. He's only using 79% of his mana through 21 games here. Now, he's been performing much better when his mana utilization is high. He's got a 3-0 record when it's at 85 or above. Now, that's a tall order to ask for, but just anything above 79 would be great. Now, since this is leading to wins, I would love to see him get that score even higher, get that mana utilization a lot higher. But, as we start talking about him and Greensheep, you'll see why there's a difference between the two of them and how they use their mana. Yeah,
Zalae's been playing a lot of Grim Patient Warrior lately, and, that deck oftentimes will have turns where it has to be patient with all of its cards, can't just continue to develop minions. He's been very persistent in that manner. He continues to queue it up. His last match against Dog, it was a pretty rough night for him. He was aggressive when he had chances to have the opportunity to do so, and been very calculated in that approach. But Dog queued up phenomenally against him and really punished him for playing that deck over and over again. Normally I would say that a predictability in your game is something that you would have to change. You would want a different kind of style going forward. But it just happens to be right now that I think that his style matches up very well versus what Greensheep is doing. So I actually don't think that he should be changing this game. I think it's great that he's been persistent.
Yeah, I actually love that point. It's a really, really good one because his style is going to match up pretty well against Greensheep. Now, Greensheep, he's coming in at 1-4 in his matchup, so he needs to get that kind of turned around. He's starting to fall down behind in the pack. Now, he's at the top of all of HPL and mana utilization right now. He's at the very top of the leaderboard here in HPL with a score of 84.3. He's been using 84% of his mana in all of his games. Now, you see this played out in his play style. He's filling in all of his early turns with aggressive plays. He's just trying to kill you quickly. Now, 80% mana utilization is a strong stress point here for Greensheep in HPL. Is what I want to talk about. When his number is below that 80%, when he isn't using more than 80% in a game, he's 1-7. But whenever he beats that number, when he gets to 80 or higher, he's 8-7 here. So he's got a winning record. And if he can start doing that more, then he can turn it around here and get some more wins in HPL.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually also been playing Grim Patient Warrior a lot lately, but he's been doing it in ranked play. And honestly, it's really kind of in line with how aggressive he is. He loves these high-risk, high-reward strategies. At times, he can be reckless with these kinds of game plans. That's the way he loves to play and who he is kind of as a person. He wants to have these turns where he absolutely, completely blows you out of the water. But another factor here for Greensheep, kind of talking about the way that he's been so recklessly aggressive, is that against a player like Zalae, I think he's going to have to be forced into changing those kinds of strategies. Zalae has become very prepared in his matchups to deal with that early game aggression. And for Greensheep, the fact that he continues to relentlessly queue that sort of stuff up, it's not really the easiest thing in the world. And then something else for Greensheep is we're now in the 3rd match of the night. Greensheep lives in Europe, and right now he's got hay fever. He's coming into this match, and it is like going through hell for him as far as he's concerned. But you know what? He's not fazed with it. He wants to keep playing this match. That's the kind of person that he is. He just isn't fazed by these sorts of things. He is determined to pick up these wins. I love that he's showing up here, and with the world stacked against him, is still going to play this match.
Yeah, this kid is quite a trooper. He's really impressing me that he's playing this match, and I expect to see him play even well while he's sick. We've seen some people Jordan game it here already in HPL, Dog a little bit earlier. But what I want to talk about is how these guys match up. This is a matchup of aggression versus combo play. Now, Greensheep, he's been looking to get out early leads in all of his matches. He wants to turn that into early wins and really punish you for having bad hands. That's why his mana utilization has been so high. He's been really filling in those early turns, those early curves. Zalae's been doing it a little bit different. He's been playing a lot of combo decks lately, and he's showing a ton of patience within those games. This has led to him have some turns where he's not been spending all of his mana or any of it at all. He's been finding play lines that are still winning, even with low mana utilization here in these games. If Zalae is going to have enough time, is Zalae going to have enough time here against the aggressive Greensheep, or is Greensheep going to be able to really punish any of those slow starts? Is he going to force him into using all of his mana, or is he going to have those turns where he gets to hold back, really set up his combos, and then punish Greensheep from there?
Yeah, both of these guys really need a big win tonight, and they need it in a big way. You know, they kind of queue up similarly in their matchups in that they go head first into them, and it's really all about perseverance for them. Zalae continues to play strategies that wants to put his opponents in uncomfortable spots. He's been kind of getting punished for that. Greensheep's been doing the same thing, relentlessly aggressive and kind of reckless in his strategies. This matchup, I think, is going to be about dominance. Who can kind of get that first win on the board, and if they win that one in a big way, can really change the way that the mindset for the matchup is going to work up. But I think someone's going to have to change gears in this one in particular, and honestly, I expect that to be Greensheep. And kind of talking about the keys to success for this, I'm actually going to go with Zalae first in this one. You know, I've spoken a lot about Greensheep, but for Zalae, I think he's got some major keys, and the first one is he has to disrupt the early pressure from Greensheep. He's continued to play aggressive strategies despite the fact that he's been in the face of all of that resistance. I fully expect him to do that again tonight and keep doing the way that you've been doing it. Fight that early game and then look to scale forward from there. And the second thing I think he needs to do is avoid Rogue. It's a very big talking point for Zalae. He loves to play that kind of strategy with those big combo turns and also gives him those early options, but against an aggressive player like Greensheep, he's going to put a lot of pressure on you. So unless you've built your Rogue specifically to fight against those very aggressive plays, I want to see him avoid that class because I think that's one of the ways he gets punished.
Yeah, that would be one of the ways he would get punished. Now, for Greensheep, I want to talk about what I think he needs to do to win this match. First point, I think he needs to play resilient aggression. Lately, Zalae has been playing a lot of combo decks that can handle early aggression. Make sure your threats are able to withstand and get through whatever it is he's whatever disrupting elements he's bringing to this match to stop you. And the second one, you know what? Find an opportunity to play Handlock. Zalae has been playing a lot of Grim Patron lately, and you know what? We've seen Handlock handle Grim Patron pretty well. Also, Greensheep is exactly the kind of guy you don't bring in big game hunter against. So you won't be punished right away for doing something like Handlock. He won't be ready for that. We saw Dog really bring it to Zalae, bring it with a Handlock there, and I think Greensheep should try to do the same.
Yeah, Zalae brought in big game hunter at the wrong time versus Dog as well, and I have to agree with you. Greensheep is not the kind of guy that I'm bringing big game hunter.
I wouldn't want that card anywhere near my deck.
Harrison Jones. Yeah. I'm not having any of those cards in my deck against Greensheep. I want to get on the board and disrupt it straight away. But who do I think is actually going to win this match and who has the edge? Frankly, I got to go with Zalae. With the addition of having everything stacked against Greensheep right now, Zalae will continue to fight for the early board presence. Things like Fiery War Axe, things like Armor Smith, you know, unstable goal has been found in all his Grim Patron decks. Even in his Hunter decks, you know, they can get on the board very early and start swinging, and he's had copies of Snipes in there to keep up with that tempo. I think if he keeps playing in that same vein, he's got a massive advantage in this match.
Yeah, I got to agree with every point that you said. I've got to go with Zalae in this as well. If Greensheep just sticks to his guns and continues to be relentlessly aggressive, unless he gets really great hands and Zalae doesn't, Zalae's going to have a lot, like just the natural decks that Zalae has plays so well against what Greensheep always brings to the table. So unless Greensheep changes it up here, I think Zalae runs away with this one, and he's my pick to win this match.
So are you kind of the more reckless, aggressive player, or do you kind of like to play more patient and kind of in the combo side of things, but seize those windows of opportunity? Get out there on Twitter and use that hashtag HPL and tag PvP Live. Let us know how you play the game. Maybe you play exactly like one of these players, and that's the one you're rooting for. You can also get on Facebook, like and comment on there. Any of your opinions that you post, we're going to be checking them out afterwards and seeing exactly how they match up with exactly what's going on in this game. But you know, again, kind of going back to this one. Oh, I'm sorry. You can also head over to pvplive.net and check out the breakdowns for yourself. These guys have played a lot of games in their competitive history. Zalae really adding a lot to his resume recently. And Greensheep, this guy was at the World Championships. If you want to check out how they played, head over to pvplive.net and see it for yourself. So kind of going back to this matchup here, it sounds like these players are ready to get underway. Their mulligans are happening right now. So game one, Zalae versus Greensheep is happening right now.
Yeah, they were just super ready to go.
Yeah, that's the way both these guys are, man. They're aggressive. They want to come out swinging. Zalae, Love this choice from him. We've seen Zoo perform very well so far in this tournament, and the fact that he's got Sea Giant in here, I think, is a nod to the way that Greensheep is going to play. He wants to get minions on the board as well.
Yeah, they're both going to get minions on the board, and you're going to see Greensheep not trade a lot. He's literally, I mean, he's generally trying to find repetitive damage from all of his minions, so something like Sea Giant is great against Greensheep. Love this play from Zalae.
Yeah, Greensheep under the weather as well. Again, he's fighting through this match while he has hay fever. It's very late where he is, just everything. I mean, you talk about an underdog with just all the X factors that are kind of going on. Greensheep has got his work cut out for him, but you know, it kind of looks like Greensheep had a flame imp of his own in his hand. Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a little bit of the spectator kind of getting us a little bit. That was a death bite actually. I gotta believe
he's playing Grim Patron Warrior again. He's been playing a lot of this on ranked play lately, and he's been playing a little bit of that aggressive Paladin deck as well. These are the two decks he's been playing the most the last couple days, so expect to see those in this match.
Yeah, but you talk about a start that is not going to be easy to deal with. It is Flame Imp into Flame Imp Voidwalker. Zalae has got everything on his side of the board right now, but his hand is now stifled. If he had a 3-drop to add to this, I think he would quickly run away with this game, but he's going to be forced to life tap instead.
Well, he just picked up another Voidwalker here as well, so if he doesn't want to use something like Power Overwhelming to take care of this Armor Smith, he has another play here. He gets to actually use all of his mana here and really push for a ton of damage.
Yeah, this is he's not even going to try to trade with his Armor Smith right now. He understands his game plan is pressure, pressure, pressure. He's going to leave everything up to Greensheep to have to handle this.
Yeah, he's even got an Implosion and Power Overwhelming behind this to really kind of, get things going. Now, great play here from Greensheep.
Yeah, going to make sure that he just gets this Armor Smith attacking straight away. Needs to chew through both of these Voidwalkers before he can get over to these Flame Imps. But Zalae's hand, no shortage of pressure here. Implosion going to be able to add more to this board. And the fact that Greensheep forewent the Death Spite this turn, he's going to be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he can Implosion this Armor Smith here, giving Greensheep only one armor, getting a certain amount of imps here, depending on how he comes off, and really protect his two Flame Imps. These Flame Imps have gotten in a ton of damage already, and you expect a lot more as this game goes on.
The full 4 from Implosion as well, and damage is going to come crashing in. If Greensheep drew something like a Whirlwind here, I think that'd be great for him, but outside of that, I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to come back from this game. He's going to be able to set up the Death Spite next turn, but he's going to be taking 10 just from what's on the board here, and I'm sorry, not 10. He's going to be taking 7 from just what's on the board here.
Wow.
Doomguard added to the hand here and Power Overwhelming for Zalae. He can push for massive amounts of damage here.
Yeah, I have to believe that Nerubian Egg's going to be hitting the board this turn, and then on his turn 6, he's going to Power Overwhelming and use Doomguard for that final push of damage. And this is nightmare for Greensheep. Zalae came swinging out of the gates, and just, Greensheep, he's swapped it up here. I like that he's switched over to a more aggressive deck, but if there's a deck that can kind of punish that, it's something like Zoo. He has these very strong minions in the early game and has some sort of resilient threats, and even got that key swing turn with the Implosion.
Yeah, it's something we talked about going in. Whenever you see Zalae use a lot of his mana, he's undefeated here in HPL, and you're seeing him use almost every mana every turn here this game.
And how on earth does Greensheep get out of this scenario? I mean, he has to take damage just to clear out the Flame Imp, and then he's facing down 9 more on the next turn. I think this game's in the books.
He can Acolyte of Pain and use his Death Spite here and get an extra card, and just hope that Zalae has, all 7s in his hand, has something like Dr. Boom, Mal'Ganis, and some other stuff, things, and maybe 2 Power Overwhelming, so he has the Nerubian Egg will be left over too. So I was going to say, I don't know how Greensheep gets out of this.
I think it's like something like Mal'Ganis, Dr. Boom, Doomguard is probably the way this ends up getting done. Acolyte of Pain, he needs to draw something very big off of this. Shield Block actually would keep him alive for another turn if he was in that position. Unstable Ghoul, that will not keep him alive quite enough.
The Power Overwhelming and the
Doomguard is going to be enough to do it. Zalae out to a very aggressive start and going to take a quick and decisive game number 1.
Man, you got to feel bad for Greensheep here. Comes in under the weather and just immediately put on the back foot by Zalae. Just no remorse from Zalae. Just puts the pedal down immediately against the sick kid.
Yeah, that's typically the way both of these players play the game. No remorse is very much the story. These guys want to get on board and they want to punish you for not having the best starts possible. And Greensheep already looks defeated about it. He can't help but smile a little bit though. Knows that he just kind of got this game. And when your opponent's starts are that strong, there is really no way that you're going to end up pulling out that game.
Yeah, what a draw from Zalae. Flame Imp, Voidwalker, just almost unbeatable from that start. And you saw Greensheep really have a problem coming back in the game. He never had anything to really reestablish the control of the board, and then took too much damage early to get anything going, and couldn't get anything going, and Zalae got the win.
Yeah, very quick game, and if you guys want to see the recap for this, you can head over to pvplive.net and see it for yourself. Exactly the strategies they chose to queue up and how they played them. Zalae full 30 very quickly from him. Actually, a little bit more than 32. Because he had to chew through some of that armor. But Greensheep was also taking some damage in his own right. So that's going to do it for game number 1. And now they're making changes to their decks. And when we come back, we're going to have game 2 getting underway. Zalae out to a very quick 1-0 lead, and Greensheep looking to tie it up. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.